welcome stamp. As you recall, during our process with COVID, Barbados opened up the opportunity for many people to come live and work on this beautiful little island of ours we call home and see all the possibilities that can flow therefrom. They can continue doing their work from wherever they work. It doesn't matter. But technology, it was driving that process. One man who grabbed the opportunity is Matt Hamilton. Now, Matt comes with a lot of experience. I'll let him explain that to you in just a moment. Matt, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Do you feel like a Barbadian now?
I'm starting to feel like a Barbadian. I've been here 5 years. It was a temporary thing, but I've been here 5 years now, and yeah, I feel as an honorary Bajan.
What does that mean? Describe for you what the honorary Bajan is.
Being able to walk down the road, talk to people, feel like I'm a part of the community, feel like I'm a part of the country. I understand a bit more about the culture. I've learned so much about Bajan culture, for example, through Soca, right? So going along to the various events, the weekly Soca parties as we're running up into crop over now, you know, it's fantastic seeing people and chatting to them. It really is great.
And the food?
The food, yes, I love the food, fantastic as well.
Good man.
And yeah, I have a local souse lady who does, in my opinion, the best souse on the island. And so, yeah, it's great.
You made a decision to take up the offer by the welcome stamp to come to Barbados. What was it about that offer that was so attractive to you?
The ability to, I think, work remotely. I mean, for me, actually, it kind of came about by accident. And it came about a conversation, actually, in a pub with a former colleague of mine. And he mentioned about the welcome stamp. And my wife is disabled. She's got a problem with her knee. And we were looking for a bit of a change of pace in life. And to come to a warmer climate certainly helps her a lot. So it was an opportunity we took up. And after a few more beers in the pub with my friend, I went home and I applied for the visas. And my wife thought it was a crazy plan, and we got accepted, and we came here, and that was 5 years ago. Within 2 weeks, we'd fallen in love with Barbados.
Are you enjoying our beers?
Yes, oh,
Good.
definitely.
Just want to be sure of that.
Oh, yes, yeah. I'm a deputy man now. Yeah.
Fantastic. And so here you are on our rock,
yes,
and feeling the Bajan character as well. But you've come from a different place where services flowed a little differently from how it happened, and so you saw solutions.
Yes.
Talk to me about some of the things that you saw and you felt you needed to have a hand in.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things being here in Barbados. I discovered that small little frictions in life, trying to find something to buy, for example. You're looking for a particular thing and just try to find where on the island has it, for example. Or you're trying to find out what events are going on. Unless you know the right people to ask, or you're following the right people, say on Instagram or whatever, it's very difficult to find out, okay, what's happening tonight? So I started creating a number of like simple tools. So the first one called We Outside 246, I created last crop over. And it is an AI system that goes through Instagram and finds all of the events that are going on. So in one place, you can go to weoutside246.com and you see all of the events happening in order, no matter whether you follow the right people or whether you're visiting Barbados or whatever, you can see everything that's happening going on. But just trying to find products as well. There was somebody recently who was looking for a charger for their laptop. And they said, you know, I was driving around all over the place, I couldn't find it. You go on to, it's called Yuh Gettin Tru. So you're asking about how I'm getting in with Barbados.
Yuh Gettin Tru?
It's called Yuh Gettin Tru. YuhGettinTru.com. So
yes.
Yuh Gettin Tru, you go on there and you can put in a laptop charger and they'll say, okay, here's one. And whether it's Koymans or Carter's or Do It Best or a small retailer, it'll find it for you.
So you saw possibilities, you saw the solutions to some of those situations as they unfolded, but what's your background in all of this?
So I'm a software developer by trade, and I've worked in a number of different companies. I work for big companies like IBM, for example, doing AI and machine learning with them, and some startups. I've worked within the Web3 space as well, blockchain and cryptocurrency payments, that kind of thing. And yeah, so coming here, I was able to use those skills that typically I've been using in a much, how to say, like larger and anonymous market, right? Stuff I was building before, you don't know who's using it. Whereas here, I build a product, I'm stood in Do It Best, I was buying a new like soldering iron for a project I was working on, and the woman I was working, who was helping me, she said, oh, by the way, I like the apps you created, right? So I'm able to get a lot of immediate feedback and chat to people who are actually using these products. I mean, Yuh Gettin Tru is getting 4,000 searches a week in Barbados, which is amazing for, you know, 280,000 people. and already getting that much traction of people using it.
Here it is. I'm interested in what happened here because size
Yes.
mattered in this instance as well. You've worked with larger consumers, but here
Yeah.
it is. Little Barbados, our little 300,000 people.
Yeah.
And how do you see yourself now using what you've created here for Little Barbados, leveraging it across the region, which has a greater population?
Exactly. So I've been trying to set up an initiative called the Caribbean Civic Lab. And the idea is to use Barbados almost as a lab setting. I don't mean in a cold sense, but I mean in a sense I just described, that I can create something, put it out there, and very quickly get feedback from people. Yes, this is useful. We would like this feature, or this needs to change, or whatever, very, very quickly. So it's much faster to develop. The idea being to then develop these things, test them here within Barbados, and then look to deploy them to wherever it may be, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Jamaica, around the Caribbean. Because the big thing I've realized is that you can't just sort of cherry pick some existing solution from, say, Silicon Valley and put it here in Barbados. It doesn't work. It's a much more informal way in which commerce works. You can't imagine a shop down on Swan Street putting in a big digital ordering system, right? So the way commerce works in Barbados is a lot more informal. It's on Instagram, it's WhatsApp messages back and forth between people. It's not so structured as it might be in some other countries. And that's a great thing. It's a personal relationship. It's lovely. But it's difficult to then find things sometimes, whether you're coming to Barbados or whether you already live here. My sales lady now comes to me and says, Matt, you know more about Barbados than me. So, she comes to me and asks me where to find things.
Now, she just led you into what I wanted to ask next, which is you called some names, Jamaica, St. Lucia, as though you know the Caribbean well, Swan Street. So how well do you think you now know the region, and how well do you think you now know Barbados? Can you drive without having to follow any of the navigational devices?
Yeah, I can drive. I can drive from most places around here. I could drive up to St. George to go visit a bar there and stuff like that. So or whatever. So I can drive around. I know my way around the island pretty well. For the first 2 years, I actually didn't have a car and I used to cycle everywhere. So I learned a lot through that, cycling around. Now I drive around. A lot of people may have seen I've got a little lilac mini moke, and I drive around a mini moke, and everybody wants to come and talk to me about it because their grandfather had a mini moke or their mother had a mini moke or whatever. So it's great. So I know a lot more about Barbados. The rest of the islands, I want to learn more about. I don't know yet. Barbados is the only island in the Caribbean I've actually been to. So
all of the islands are uniquely different, but they're special. Each of them is so special. The decision to make this move to Barbados, though, obviously there are other people who are part of that decision making, not other than just your wife alone. How did your family and friends, or how do they now feel about you having made that decision?
I think they're jealous, in fact. So my parents have come to visit a couple of times. My youngest daughter was here with us for 4 years. She's gone back for the next stage of her schooling. She's actually continuing in the UK, but she was here at school for 4 years. And I've got some elder kids as well, and they're all jealous. The eldest one actually wants to come here. She actually worked with me on one of my projects. So I created a project called Yuh Hear Dem, and it searches through all the parliamentary transcripts and information so that you can find out what's been talked about in Parliament, about any laws that are coming up. And she actually helped me build that. She was in the UK, I was here. And we worked together on that as a sort of a project together. But she's really looking forward to coming here at some point as well.
I want to give me your unbiased view and assessment of this island. Not just geographical locations alone, but just the way things work. What do you think?
It's a very friendly place. That's the first thing. It's a friendly place, friendly people. I like the pace of life here. Things work a little bit slower, which I personally like. Sometimes it, can get you vexed if you're trying to go somewhere and something's not working quite as fast and you spend half a day stood in line somewhere or whatever. But everything else makes up for it. It's such a beautiful island. It's such a beautiful place. And I'm glad to be able to come here and help with skills that I have as well and learn a lot from the Bajan people and from the environment here. I've done a number of free seminars in conjunction with some of the organizations here. An organization called Zindi that was sponsored by GovTech to help build AI systems here. And I've done a number of, helping young Bajan developers get into software development, get into AI, helping them. One gentleman, Brian, who was, life had dealt him a few bad hands. And, we sat down, we talked about stuff. He's now working for Light and Power, which is great. I'm really proud of. So, it's great to be able to be able to contribute back and help people, but also to learn a lot more from Barbados myself.
In all of this work, you were recognized.
Yes.
You know, national recognition you received. That must have felt very, very special to you.
It was, yeah. Last year I was given an award at the BLP Awards ceremony, and it was humbling. It was absolutely humbling, because the gentleman in front of me in my sort of section going up for his award, he was a triple Paralympian, amputee triple Paralympian, who went up to collect his award, and you know, I'm here and I'm like, I type things on a keyboard, right? You know, but it was fantastic to be recognised for that, and the things that I'm building to just help Barbados here. Some people think of technology and think of AI as some big scary thing, and there's concerns with how AI is used, obviously. But what I'm trying to show is that it can be used for much simpler, productive things as well in everyday life, right? Just being able to use something like Yuh Gettin Tru to be able to have, it uses AI in the background, so that when you're actually searching, whether you search for sneakers and it finds trainers, or whether you look for cutlery and it finds silverware, or whatever it might be, it is using AI behind the scenes in ways that you possibly don't even realize, to make your life easier, so you can find stuff easier, so you don't spend the day driving all around the island looking for that one thing.
Matt Hamilton made the decision over a few beers to move to Barbados in the welcome step. Just when the world was shutting down, Matt was said, nope, I'm traveling. I'm going elsewhere to do my business. He's a developer of software indeed. And so, Matt, you said to me you'll now become a lot more familiar with the Soca.
Yes.
This is crop over.
Yes, exactly.
And so for 5 years you've been here already?
Yes.
Have you been a part of crop over every one of those 5 years?
Most of them. So there's been some times in which the last, I think, 2 years, I've had to miss Kadooment, because I had to go back to the UK because my daughter, she does a lot of performing arts, and she was in a show herself. But at least in the run-up to Kadooment, through the crop over season, I go along to, you know, Soca State of Mind and Soca Gardens and things like that. So yeah, Soca, and this year I will be here for Kadooment. So I'll be.
Do you love it?
I do love it. I do love it. Yeah.
If you had to say to your friends over abroad what crop over generally is about, what would you say?
So, well, I mean, it's a celebration of the end of the harvest here, and so it's everybody. There seems like a sort of a passion that is released after a year's worth of hard work. Everybody wants to celebrate and have a good time, and it's fantastic. Everybody getting together, and I mean, you know, all of the events. I mean, morning, noon, and night. You know, for weeks leading up. I was amazed when I created the website Way Outside 246. Just the number of events happening, you know, each day running up to Kadooment, and then Kadooment itself. Hopefully this year I'll be on the road. And hopefully, I don't know yet whether I'm going to jump in a band. I'd like to. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that yet, but maybe you'll see me in a band. But you'll definitely see me on the road at some point. Yeah.
I mean, there's only one way to know whether or not it's for you, but to try
do it
once.
exactly,
At least
exactly.
once,
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
And so, in this website that you've created, crafted just for the entertainment sector alone, are you capturing images and videos and so forth, so that people get the energy of what's happening?
So what I'm capturing at the moment is what they put on Instagram of the posters. So what happens is, it is an AI. Again, it's using AI for good, and it goes around Instagram and it finds each of the events and each of the DJs and the promoters, and it follows them and it works through to find all the things going on. So it'll look and say, okay, so whatever, DJ Salt is doing an event at this particular location, so it'll follow Salt, and then it'll go to the location, follow the location, say, okay, well, DJ Hutchie is playing there, so follow him, and then whatever, Tion Hernandez is doing an event at this thing, so it'll then go and follow her, and it works its way through Instagram and finds all of the event posters, and takes the date and the name and the image of that, and then builds up a list. So when you go to the site, you can see everything going on in one place.
I'm impressed by you. You know everyone and everything. This is brilliant. Yeah. Have you found so far for the season, I mean, maybe it's still relatively early with the music out, is there one song that really drives your energy whenever you hear it?
So at the moment, I mean, I guess, well, I mean, Weatherman was an early start with Jordan English, so that's one that's kind of always been hitting around people's mind. But yeah, I mean, some of the newer ones, you know, sort of coming out and catching up with some of them. I think, I can't remember who it was recently, Mikey Mercer, I think it was one of his I just heard recently. It was really good. So yeah, but I've just started now that things like Soca State of Mind have started again. I'm
going to charge you for advertising.
Yeah.
So expect the invoice before you leave.
Yeah, sure.
And so here it is now. We are in the midst of crop over with a man who is not even Bajan, but a man who's chosen Barbados
Yes.
to be his place of business and place of life, really and truly.
Yeah.
And having your children come experience this with you as well. Did you at any, if you stop to reflect for your life so far, you know, this was not your plan. How different from your plan is this?
Completely different. This was a lucky accident that this happened, and I said, you know, my wife said, "What if we don't, you know, like it in Barbados? How are we going to deal with it?" She was worried she was going to be too hot and it was going to be, you know. And I said, "Well, what's the worst going to happen? We don't like it. We come home." And that was, like I said, 5 years ago. You know, we stayed here. We had a great time here, living here. There was an event actually just recently hosted by the Prime Minister and Senator Jonathan Reid from the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. And he made a great point right at the very end in which he said, you know, there's Bajans, born Bajans, and there's people that are Bajan by choice.
Yes.
And I class myself as that Bajan by choice now. I've come here to adopt Barbados as my home, and Barbados has adopted me. And so, yeah, there's a lot of people that are coming here willingly because of what Barbados has to offer, and that's I think a great thing.
So your wife had concerns at the
Yes.
beginning. Does she have those concerns still?
No, she loves it. She loves it. Yeah, yeah.
As you did mention, she has a challenge with her knee.
Yes.
And how is she now fitting into to just being able to be mobile and to get around to do what she has to do?
So the warmth definitely helps. So that's good in that regards, with regards to pain. She does have to use a wheelchair still quite a lot. Barbados is not the most accessible place. I know it is getting better with certain things, but still, you know, for people with disabilities, people who have to use wheelchairs, mobility aids, it is still a very difficult place for them to be. Hopefully that is things that can be improved with time. But, you know, generally, yes, she's liking it. And to be able to go or go down and have a sea bath,
Yes.
right? You know, become part of Bajan culture, enjoy. I mean, go down to the hot pot, right, and take the waters, and you know, it's a healing place. It's a healing place.
Barbados is a healing place. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes we live here and sometimes we don't quite see what you see.
Yes.
And it's good to be able to hear you say what you say so that we can begin to see what you see. And that's important. One of our challenges generally is traffic congestion.
Yes.
Have you developed or designed yet the technology for us to be able to look at road usage and see a way out?
I've personally not. I know there's a number of projects that are. I'm part of a developer group here in Barbados called Barcode. And there's a number of developers on there building various things. There's one called Transit 246, which is being developed that allows you to actually track where the buses are, for example,
Yes.
which is great. So there's technology coming. There's people working on some of these things. There was what's called a hackathon, a coding competition recently, where developers were encouraged to look at the footage from the cameras on the roundabouts and try to analyze, okay, what is the traffic doing for that? So there's people working on these things. Yes, traffic is a problem here. One of the slight advantages I have is I work from home.
Yes.
So I don't have to get stuck in the morning rush hour traffic, for example. But I know a lot of people do, and hopefully, you know, things can improve over time with, you know, better ability to see where public transport is going. Maybe if there's some initiatives around, you know, more car sharing, for example, so that less cars are needed on the road, would help. Yeah.
You came from Silicon Valley to Little Bridgetown, Barbados.
Yes.
The opportunities, and I'm talking about financial opportunities, are vastly different. Any regrets?
No regrets.
Are you just saying that to be humble, or are you just...
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm lucky to live in a world in my line of work that I can work internationally. I can work from everywhere. Not everybody is able to do that. And I think there's some things as well. There's a lot of people within Barbados. There's a large content creator community, the Orange community, that are creating content. People on TikTok and Instagram that are doing a lot of great work. A lot of them don't yet have the ability to monetize what they're doing so easily here in Barbados. And that's a thing that I think needs to improve, and as well as allowing, you know, entrepreneurs access to financial products as well. For me, being away from coming from the UK, coming here, I still have access to a lot of financial products in the UK that a developer here in Barbados with a Bajan passport may not have access to. So it kind of works both ways. There's some advantages of coming here. There's some advantages of having a different nationality, for example, being able to access those services. So I think there's some things that can be done here to help Bajan entrepreneurs to be able to get stuff out. So, for example, we were talking earlier about trade links with Africa. To be able to improve that, I think would be great for Bajan entrepreneurs to be able to then access those export markets as well would be very good.
He has vision, he has ideas, he has possibilities in it. So Matt Hamilton, it is so wonderful meeting you.
Fantastic, thank you.
Again, enjoy your stay in Barbados for as long as possible. Live here.
I will be here until Auntie Mia kicks me out.
We don't do that. But you can retire here if you choose to do so as well. But it's good to have you, and thank you for joining us on Morning Barbados today.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Morning.